Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm just gonna stop the light jiggling around. Today we are going to look at no churn ice cream. Yeah, said I wouldn't do no churn, here I am doing a no churn. So let's just get on and talk about the science behind it. So this channel is all about ice cream. This channel is about making the best ice cream that you can make with your ice cream machine. I don't do no churn recipes for a reason. They're everywhere on the internet. They're all fucking awful. Regardless of opinion, let's look at what goes into no churn ice cream. So a basic no churn ice cream consists of heavy cream or whipping cream, depending on where you're from, and sweetened condensed milk. Some people call it condensed milk. I know this is condensed milk. In certain parts of the US, they call it sweetened condensed milk, and in some parts of the world, it's called evaporated milk, which is a whole different product unto itself. So, you know, anyway, just to confirm, condensed milk is the high sugar, reduced milk product, okay? Not evaporated milk, which has basically no sugar in it. You must have the sugar in this product, otherwise it won't work. So, with that made clear, why do people like no churn ice cream? Well, obviously, not everyone has an ice cream machine. That's the simple fact of it. And some ice cream machines are expensive, some are dirt cheap. You know, you can get one for 30 bucks. I remember buying one very early on in the channel back in the UK. I think I paid £15, 15 GBP for that, which is like $20 US. Anyway, if you don't want to buy one of those and you don't make enough ice cream, or you don't want to eat enough ice cream to warrant a machine, that's where no churn comes in. But here on Polar Ice Creamy, we talk about the science behind ice cream as well. And really good ice cream has the right balance of fat and sugar, and the right amount of air inclusion, and the right size ice crystals. The size of the ice crystal determines the mouthfeel. If you think ice cream is really creamy, then it's got very small ice crystals. If it's really icy, it speaks for itself. Sugar is ultra important in ice cream, and this also accounts for sugar substitutes. Whichever one you choose to use, they're very, very important in ice cream because those are what reduce the freezing point of your mixture. Without the sugar, you'll end up with a solid block of ice instead of ice cream, okay? I went online and found one of the UK version no churn recipes that I tried before moving over to Canada. And it had 270 grams of double cream, which is 50% fat in the UK. Oh, it's beautiful stuff. 110 grams of whole milk, 100 grams of sugar, and 2.5 grams of espresso powder, like instant espresso powder. I don't think you can get that over here. It was shit. Now, 29% fat, this equates to, that little mixture I just told you accounts for 29% fat, 4.5% milk solids non-fat, 20.8% sugar, 54.3 total solids. I mean, if you put that in an ice cream calculator, you're gonna be all over the place, okay? Now, we can't do a lot about that with no churn ice cream. You whip air into the cream, you mix the ingredients together, you put it in the freezer. We're gonna do Cookie Monster No Churn ice cream, but I'm not gonna do two different types of cookie. I'm gonna do one type of cookie and cookie dough chunks. So, what are we gonna need? For our Cookie Monster No Churn ice cream, we are gonna need 400 grams of condensed milk, 400 grams of whipping cream at 33%. That is a 10-ounce can of condensed milk and 1 3/4 cups of whipping cream. Plus, we're going to use vanilla extract. This is homemade. Blue food coloring and Oreo cookies. And I'm going to use cookie dough that I've made before. If you want to know how I make this, let me know in the comments and I'll do a whole video on how to make cookie dough. So, let's get started. Super easy. If you don't have an ice cream machine, I mean, they're very cheap on Amazon. You can get one for less than $20. You know, it doesn't have to be $10 short. Close enough. It doesn't have to be the best ice cream machine in the world. It just has to be functional. You must get, depending on where you live in the world, you must get the condensed milk with very high sugar content. That sugar is important. If you don't have the sugar in your milk product, and in this instance, obviously, as a no churn, it's going to be condensed milk, you will be left with a solid block of ice. And we do not want that. So there we go. Cream and condensed milk. Nice. And I'm going to stir that up. And then just whisk it. Whisk it for 5 minutes until it starts to incorporate some air.
5 minutes later.
Some people whip the cream first, others don't. I find you get a better texture by whipping all of it together. If you've got a machine, use that. We've increased our volume by about 15 to 20%. I can't get it any more than that. Now we are going to put in our blue food coloring. We want it to be quite bright. This is neon gel. I would recommend a gel-based food coloring rather than a liquid one. There we go, look. Ice cream is vanilla flavored, so in goes our vanilla extract. 2 teaspoons, something around 10 grams. Oreos, standard Oreos. There we go. Right, we need something to put it in. We are going to need, I'm not even gonna go mad with measuring stuff. Just gonna break the Oreos in. There we go. Let's get the whisk out. Get out of there. One for me. Oreos. Much better over here. This is malted cookie dough. Now I did a video probably 2 years ago now that was salted malted chocolate chip cookie dough. Salt and straw. Incredibly good ice cream. The recipe for the cookie dough is actually in there. Why am I pissing around? Just throw it all in. Throw it all in, stir it together, and into the tub it goes. Lid on. In the freezer it goes. I will come back probably tomorrow. We'll dig this one out of the freezer, scoop it, and see how it turned out. Next day, let's get some of this no churn Cookie Monster ice cream dished up. There we go. I said I wouldn't do no churn recipes, but so many people have asked for them. And they've asked for them for a specific reason, is that they're very different on the internet. Some recipes you find say this, some recipes say that. Now there is actually a scientific calculation as to what you need fat and sugar percentage wise for a good no churn recipe. And that is somewhere around 20 to 23% fat and 20 to 23% sugar. That is what you need for a no churn recipe to be A, scoopable, B, tasty, and C, have some reasonable texture. It's never going to be the same as a churned ice cream because it's an impossible task, but you're going to get reasonably close. Like I said, if you don't have an ice cream machine, you don't want an ice cream machine, but you do want to make your own ice cream, you can use this base recipe for any no churn out there. Just change the food coloring, take it out, use an extract to flavor, do some inclusions, so your add-ins, your cookies, your cookie dough, all that kind of stuff. You can really kind of start to change this up. When you look online at other no churn recipes, there are some that have 15% fat, 10% sugar. They'd be solid as a rock. They'd literally be a block of ice if you made that. Then there are some, there's a commercial one back in the UK that had 28% sugar and 20% fat. 28% sugar. I don't even know how that froze. You know, the chances are they had a blast chiller. That's the only real way to actually get that kind of ice cream frozen. But then once you start taking it out, it's going to defrost really, really quickly until the point where you put it in your home freezer and you try and make it at home. It won't freeze. Or if it does, it will be like a milkshake rather than ice cream. So if you're one of the new subscribers and you want to see more no churn, I will make more no churn ice creams and explain the difference, but let's just eat it. Color's great, by the way. Texture-wise, it's not too bad. You know, it's pretty smooth. It's got a nice vanilla kind of taste to it. The Oreos are perfect. The cookie dough is inspired. Everyone else just uses a plain chocolate chip cookie along with your Oreos. You're more than welcome to do that. Take it up a notch and make some cookie dough. I'll put the recipe in the description below, but this recipe actually is one of salt and straws. And I'll put a link actually just up here that points to that video because it's an excellent, excellent ice cream. The biggest downside to no churn is the flavor of the condensed milk. That muddies the water for all the other flavors that you use, okay? So condensed milk has a very strong flavor. How no churn works, the high fat, the fat in ice cream stops the ice crystals enlarging as it's freezing. The sugar reduces the freezing point of the ice cream. And the milk solids non-fat in an ice cream recipe, that's like your protein. And that helps with the overrun if you're churning your ice cream in a machine or with your whipping if you're doing a no churn. This is actually pretty decent. So science-wise, there is a place for no churn. It is nice and easy. You don't need anything special. I hope you have enjoyed my first nice and simple no churn Cookie Monster ice cream. Let me know if you want to see some more and we'll start branching out on some other flavors. You can get quite complicated even with no churn, so let me know if that's something you want to see. Anyway, less rambling, more cookies. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.